Hello YouTube and welcome to another episode of The Cloudy Vape. In this video we're going to be talking about the IPV3 Li. So this is a temperature sensing device and it is kind of modeled after the IPV3 and it does have a Yeehee chip. This is the Yeehee SX330 version 3 SL. And so the little bit of change up from the original firmware from say the IPV4, the biggest change up you're going to get out of this one, it's going to be titanium. It's going to have titanium sensing, and I believe it goes up to 165 watts, whereas the IPV4 only went up to 100 watts, if that's what I do recollect. From my understanding, you do have a firmware upgrade. Out of the gate, you do not have the upgrade on here yet, but there is another upgrade. Just like the IPV4, when you first purchase the IPV4, you can have an upgrade later on, but there is also an IPV4S that also has the firmware that comes with it when you purchase it. And there is also, from my understanding, an IPV3 Li VR. From my understanding, there's another model of this device. So this one is just the Li and not the VR. So if you're asking me about the VR, I'm not sure about that one, not sure about the details or the comparisons. This is just about the Li. So without that long disclaimer, let's have a vape on it and let's talk about it just a little bit, dive down, and then talk about the pros and the cons. So let's have a little vape. Right now, I'm going to have it at about 0.3 ohms, 24 gauge Canthal dual coil on the Sapor RDA by Watofo, and I'm going to do it at about 60 watts. So let's have a little vape. So, not bad at all. Dual 18650, so it lasts a long time. And I enjoy it. I really enjoy this one more than the IPV4, although the menu system is about the same. It's more of the model, the aesthetically. I like the size of it. I just like how, just the grip on it, which you would think the IPV4 had a better grip, but I wasn't a huge fan of the aesthetics of it. I definitely like this one a little bit better. Why? I'm not sure. It still has a lot of the menu system type things that I'm not a big fan of, but I think I like it. I really do like it. I've been enjoying it. But yeah, let's dive down, check out the menu system, look at it up close, and then talk about the pros and the cons. Okay, so here is the IPV3 Li, as you can see right there. It has a kind of weird design on it. It indicates that it is like a black. It's more of like a, darker, I don't know what you would call this. Is this what gunmetal looks like? No? Maybe? Yes? So just a few things as far as packaging. Just some weird designs on it. Kind of tribal-ish going on. It says, caution, this is not a toy. It includes IPv3 device, USB, user manual, and gift box, meaning the box. It goes from 10 to 65 watts, and it just says use responsibly, 18 years and older only. Not much else going on. It just says there is an LED display screen, dual 18650 batteries required, and USB mini charger. It says charger, but I have not actually attempted to charge it with this USB mini. It does say charger though, so I don't know if it's a charger or if it's just the upgrade thing for the USB. But let's read some of these, little things. So as far as, let's go with specifications. So 10 to 65 watts, 5 to 50 joules. Output voltage is 1 volt, 7 to 7.5 volts. Input current is 1.3 amps to 40 amps. Input voltage is 6.2 volts to 8.5 volts. Standard atomizer resistance is 0.1 all the way up to 3 ohms. Joules mode is 0.05 all the way up to 0.3. Temperature limit Celsius 100 to 300. Temperature limit Fahrenheit 212 to 572. Efficiency is 95%. Screen size is 0.96 inches. OLED Yeehee SX330 version IPV3SL. Main features: visual operating system, low voltage protection, low resistance protection, high input voltage warning, output short circuit protection, reverse battery protection. So many protections. Temperature overheat protection, software upgrade, and GUI operate. Temperature control. And it supports up to a maximum of 200 watts after the upgrade. Like I said, this is not the upgrade. So it just keeps talking about details and different types of warnings and touch sensor and yeah, all that good stuff. So I'll show you all that when we go down close. I just want to let you know all the warnings and stuff. And it does say somewhere in there that prolonged use at max wattage or voltage or joules can be dangerous. So I'm going to leave this atomizer on here just to test it and show you it. I do want to show you right here, right by the atomizer. It is scuffed up just a tiny bit. It is like a spring-loaded pin, so you can tighten down your addies pretty tight. I put the addy cube down there, and the addy cube scraped up it pretty bad. Right away, looking at the kind of design, so you have your 510 connection, spring-loaded. I believe it's like a brass or copper. Let me see if I can just unscrew it real quick and look at it. Show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so right there, it does look maybe a copper or not copper, brass. It kind of looks like brass or gold plating. More looks like a brass. I have tons of juice residue on that. It's kind of gross. Let me screw this back on. Okay, so this little circle right here, you're probably seeing that. I know it's a little dark, but this little circle right here, okay? So this circle, if you can see that, what that is a touch sensor. So as it is right now, it's set up to be turned on. So, well, let's see. There we go. So that will work. You have your clicky fire button. You have your power up, power down buttons. As far as markings, you have the Pioneer4you logo right there. You have the model number, IPV3 Li, and then it tells you what chip is in it right there. This just indicates that this slides down just like that. So that does slide. I have some of those sub-ohm batteries that I've been testing out in there. So it is, positive up on one side, negative down on the other, positive up, negative down, etc. As far as this plate right here, it is a spring-loaded kind of ball bearing. There is no magnets at all in this, or at least what I can see. I don't see any magnets. This right here, this little ball bearing right here is spring-loaded. And there is a little indentation right here that clips in. So you kind of just clip it down in, you give it a push, and it's just firm, nice and firm. So that's kind of how it hooks up. So as far as your device, so there is that. Let's turn it off. Right there, system off. So now it is off. Now to turn it on, all we have to do is 5 clicks to turn it on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's a Pioneer4you logo. It might be a little bit blurry. Let's see, maybe about right there. So right away it'll turn on, say Pioneer4you IPV3. And then it'll give you your readout, just like most of them. You have your wattage, your voltage, your ohms, your adjustment, and your battery indicator right there. And this screen is so reflective, so darn reflective. So right away when you turn it on, that touch sensor is activated. If you can see, touch sensor is activated. If you want to turn it off, press your power up, your wattage up and your power button at the same time. That'll say, touch on or touch off. That means it's on. Power up and power down, it'll say touch off. Power down and power, wattage down and power. So wattage down and power turns it off. Wattage and wattage up and power turns it on. So right now it is off. It'll fire there, but it won't fire there. Now if I do wattage up and power again, touch is on. So I want to touch that, and boom, it's working. So that's my touch. Not a big fan of that touch sensor, but that is still an option. So not bad at all. Let's look at the next thing. So that's really all you need to know in here. It does have your memory settings, which is M1 through M5. So if I hit the power button, right, and then I want to scroll up, it's going to scan through your memory settings, M1 through M5. It's going to go all over the place. The only way you can adjust it is if you first press down, just like all of them, and then you can adjust up in 0.1 increments, up and down. So this one, like I said, is 165 watts, so it'll go up to that, and I believe it goes down to 10 watts. But as far as that goes, so whatever setting you're on when you press down, so if you're on M1 when you press down, or M2, whatever you press down, you adjust it to what you want to be. Whatever setting you were first on before you started adjusting it, that's what it's going to save it to. So if you want to know how to set your setting on it, that is how you would do it. So the next thing is to go into your menu settings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I went a little bit too fast. So once you do 5 clicks, it'll take you into this 3-point menu system. So you have, you basically have your power mode. You have your exit, which would just exit this menu screen and go back to whatever power mode is selected. So that's cool. Then you do have system on or off. So right here, if it says system, I believe it says system. Yes, it does. So either of these buttons will now turn off the device. You hit this button. Either of these buttons will now change it from power to joules mode. You hit this button. Either of these buttons will now exit the menu. That's what these little arrows are indicating. This button or this button will activate whatever is showing here. So this one just kind of scans through stuff. So as far as power mode, let's just touch quickly on this. I don't actually have a titanium or Ni200 build right now, but I will just show you the setting is there. So here's your power mode. Pick this or this, whatever one you want to kind of scan through. So there you go. There's joules mode, power mode, joules mode, power mode. Let's go to joules mode. Joules mode is there. So you have Fahrenheit. F is for Fahrenheit. You have C for Celsius. So you pick. I'm American, so I'm going to do Fahrenheit. You pick your temperature. So, you just go up and down, whatever temperature you want. Let's just say 425 works. Gonna hit OK. And then it's gonna say, what type of wire are you using, man? What type of wire are you using? So do you want Ni200 or do you want titanium? So that's pretty cool. And then you just scan through, pick which one you want. So there's that. And in both modes are about the same. So let's go into Ni200. I'm going to exit that now because now I'm in there. Now you'll see it says J for joules. And then, you have your voltage right there. You also have your, it moved. It moved. So you have your temperature. You have your voltage. Let me turn it back on. You have your joules, your temperature, your voltage, your ohms, and your battery indicator. So that's that. While you're in this mode and any mode, both buttons at the same time will set your resistance. It'll set the atomizer resistance. So that's that. And then you can adjust up and down. And I believe, let me see. I believe you have your memory settings. Let me see. Yes, so in your temperature sensing mode, you do have that same type of memory settings, M1 through M5, which again, I'm not a fan of, but you can do it. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's just that same deal. You have to press down and then up to adjust whatever memory setting you first were on before you press down. That's what memory setting it's going to set that current joules setting to. So let's say you're in this mode and you want to go back out and change your temperature. You would do 5 clicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would go there. So now you want to go over to power mode. You want to say joules. Yes, joules, Fahrenheit. Now you change your temperature. Let's say whatever you want to do it, go up a little bit. Okay, there's up. You confirm that. I know it's a little bit glary. Apologies for that. Then you say again you want nickel, and then yes, you want to exit that. So there is your your nickel mode. So 5 clicks again. Let me go through that. That's temperature, and then now you can pick your titanium setting. So there's titanium. Yes, I want to exit. Oh. Wrong button. Wrong button. Go through it again. There's that. Okay, titanium or nickel. I want titanium. Exit. Yes. So now we're in the titanium setting. and it's about the same. So you have voltage, you have joules, you have temperature, you have battery, and you have all of your pertinent information. Looks just like your NI 200 setting, right? So 2 clicks are both of these at the same time, up and down at the same time will set your atomizer resistance. Now if you want to get out of this setting and go back to power mode, there's joules, so we want to go to power. So basically 5 clicks always gets you to this menu. Once you're in this menu, to cycle through the 3 top tiers of menu, you would just hit this button. To select in between the tiers of menu, you would hit this button. Let me go back to it. Went out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's that. So system, I don't want that. I want power. I want power mode. So we're back in power mode. And I want to exit. Nope, headed too much. Power. Yes, joules, power. Yes, power. Boom. Boom, boom. And exit. Okay, and now we're back into wattage mode. So that was a long, ranty kind of walkthrough of that menu, but that's, in a nutshell, that is everything. As far as, the rest of this real quickly, you have your kind of venting on the bottom. You do have a USB port. Now it says USB mini charger. It says charger. So I haven't experimented and see if it actually is a charger, even though it's marketing as the box says charger. Absolutely says charger. But I believe this is just for firmware. I don't believe the battery charges from this port right here. But, as far as everything on the device, that's about it. You do have, it kind of reminds me a lot of the Sigeli, like 150 or whatever, but it has that kind of like curve right there, which is nice and ergonomical or whatever it's called. Over here, now these look like little star sparkles. If you look very close, it probably won't focus because of the reflection, but if you look really closely at that is starry sparkles. Very weird. You do have your Pioneer4you logo, and that's about it for this little guy. Nothing too crazy about it. Really, the only thing I don't like about this is the fact that it has the M1 through M5. But besides that, I mean, it works. It works really well. I probably dried out my cotton by now, but oh well. Let's go back into FaceTime and talk about it just a little bit more. Let's talk about the pros and the cons. So right away, the pro for me would be I like this model better than, say, the IPV4. I'm not a big fan of how it aesthetically looks. I like this one a little bit better. It reminds me a lot of the Sigelis, just a simple box mod. I like that style more, and that's just a personal preference. I know a lot of people enjoyed the IPV3 and how it gripped and how you had that kind of sleeve that slipped off, kind of sandwich sleeve, I guess you would call it. So this is more just just a sliding sleeve, just like this, like I showed you in the up close. But as far as how it feels and the beefiness of it, I like it a little bit more. So that's definitely a pro for me, at least the design. As far as the sensing, I believe firmware out of the gate, it does have a little bit more wattage compared to the IPv4. And it also does titanium and nickel, back and forth, whatever you want to do. Whereas, again, the IPv4 only had nickel, but you can firmware it up. I know I'm going to get a bunch of hate and say, well, the IPv4 can do titanium now. Well, only if you firmware it up, and not everybody is going to go that far to do the firmware upgrade. So, as far as out of the gate, this does come with titanium sensing. So that is cool as far as out of the gate, no real other beefs. Another pro is that it doesn't have that charging port on it, which I know the IPv4S switched that up. You do have that little USB upgrade for firmware right there. It's nice, but I really have not a lot of cons with this. Most of the cons with this are going to be the menu, the M1 through M5. Not a big fan of that. Never have been a big fan of that ever in any device. So that's just, again, my personal preference. The little touch sensor on the top right here, as I showed you in the up close, it's cool. Just not really something for me. Again, I think it kind of gets in the way, and it's not, it's not something I would use all the time. And if you're kind of forgetful, you put it in your pocket, put your hands in your pocket, you know, it's just going to fire up. It's really simple to fire. So that's just my thought on that. But, you know, I would definitely pick up this one over the IPv4. Why? I'm not sure. Just kind of after using both of them, I just seem to like this one better. And again, it's probably because the aesthetics, from my understanding, at least the settings are a little similar. You know, the wattage is a little bit similar. But, you know, as far as what you get out of the box, I enjoy this one better than the original IPv4. So again, that is just my thought. I received this device from GearBest.com. So a big thanks to GearBest.com. A big thanks to my rep Wade for sending this out for review. Thanks so much. If you want to know more about this or where I got this, definitely look in the description box below. And I think that is all. Gonna wrap up this review, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please like it. And if you like my videos in general, please subscribe. And as always, stay classy and keep vaping.